No, when I read it, I thought that unlike a lot of books, it was better for the movies. It lended itself to adaptation because it didn't play with time a lot. In a lot of novels, people all of a sudden start talking for a chapter about their childhood or something like that. And sometimes, there's large spans of history that are covered, and that's always very hard in movies. And there's a lot of interior monologues, and there's not a lot of that in the book. So in a way, the hard thing wasn't choosing the story or editing, but trying to find equivalents for the tone, that was more the challenge with this book, how to find the humanity that I do think is in the book. Because when you write down the details, it just seems like a really harrowing story. But I wanted to preserve the sort of intelligence and the observation and the sort of humanity that's in the book. That was sort of the biggest challenge for me.
I have one for you. I mean, a lot of the characters have some pretty tough choices, being that they're blind, they're in this quarantine. What would you guys do if you were faced with that same situation? Has working on the movie changed how you feel about it? Or is that a really stupid question?
To me, that's too stupid to answer. Where do you work? Like the Sci-Fi Channel or something? I don't know. Who asked you? No, I mean... No, it's a fantastic question. No, I feel that the whole blind experience and having acted it was amazingly instructive because there were weird surprises. All of us, all the cast, I should say, all the leads and all the extras too, did these workshops in advance, these blind camp we called it, where we all went and first we did these exercises with blindfolds, and then we learned to sort of take the blindfolds off but still disregard visual stimuli and respond to our ear with using our ears and things like that. It was an amazing process, but it revealed a lot of surprising things, that there was actually a certain kind of comfort and privacy in the blindness. There was lots of surprises about the capabilities and about the intimacy that arises out of blindness. So, as the writer, my job is sort of to identify with all the characters to a degree and believe that they are all motivated. So I'm not going to say I'm not going to say identified with the King of War 3 or something like that, more than necessary. But I did feel, that I understood his logic. I understood where he's coming from. I understood what it meant to be a little guy that wanted power but wasn't physically intimidating, but all of a sudden saw the power that blindness gave him. And so it was sort of an amazing process that way. It was sort of an amazing process for an actor to experience that. I think all the actors felt that after the panic.
One final one.
Final question. We have to go upstairs to talk to people upstairs too, so yes.
Don, I want to ask you, the scene where the three ladies, they're showering outdoor, to me that scene is a cleansing scene. It's after seeing a movie full of despair and hopelessness.
Right.
So I want to ask you, is it part of the book, or like how did you craft that scene?
It is in the book. I changed the sort of rain stuff a little bit, but there's definitely a moment in the book like that. And it was always important. It was so... to me, when people said they read the book, a lot of people said to me, "Why are you doing this? This book is so dark and sort of hopeless." But maybe I'm naive, but I always thought it was very optimistic. I always felt it was about people's endurance and the capacity to deal with the worst possible circumstances. And I do believe that in crisis, of course, it brings out terrible things in some people, but it also brings out this amazing strength and surprising strength in people. So that to me was what I was trying to get at in the book. And definitely I think those sequences, Fernando used to call it the sort of three graces, the sort of, those cleansing moments, those moments for hope and those moments for breath in the book were those moments that I really clung to, and that was an important scene. We changed it around a bit, actually. I was sometimes thinking, is it too much the rain and the street and the showers? But in the end, we couldn't leave it. Did you have something to say, Niv?
Just that we have to go upstairs.
Oh.
Right now. But thanks to Ajay. I think he's earned his intelligent questions have earned the name Ajay now.
You can just come upstairs if you have more questions, or even better, see you at the party. Thank you very much.